Immigration is often viewed as a source of tremendous stress and hardship, but here's something unexpected. Research shows immigrants frequently demonstrate better mental health outcomes than native born citizens. Let's explore this fascinating paradox.
That's really surprising given all the challenges immigrants face. What exactly makes this counterintuitive finding possible?
Well, it's called the Immigrant Paradox, and despite facing significant obstacles like cultural adaptation, language barriers, and loss of support networks, studies consistently show immigrants often outperform native born citizens in several key areas of well being.
What kind of obstacles are we talking about specifically?
Let me paint the picture. Imagine moving to a new country where even basic things like food become a source of stress. Research shows that adapting to Western food habits has led to increased chronic diseases and depression among immigrant groups like Italians. And that's just one small aspect of the massive adjustment they face.
That makes me think about all the hidden challenges we might not consider. What about their support systems?
That's actually one of the most significant challenges. When immigrants leave their home country, they're essentially uprooting their entire social network. All those people they could turn to for help or emotional support, family, friends, trusted neighbors, they're suddenly thousands of miles away.
So with all these challenges, how do they manage to show better outcomes? It seems almost impossible.
Here's where it gets fascinating. Comprehensive studies have found that most immigrant groups actually report higher life satisfaction than people in their home countries, and similar levels to those born in their new country. This holds true even after controlling for what researchers call immigrant selectivity.
Oh wait, you mean the idea that maybe only the healthiest or most capable people choose to immigrate in the first place?
Exactly. But here's the thing. Even after accounting for that factor, the positive outcomes persist. And what's really remarkable is that this happens regardless of whether immigrants come from countries with low average life satisfaction like Iraq and Zimbabwe, or wealthy nations like Australia and Germany.
That's incredible. Do we have any large-scale research confirming these findings?
Yes, the World Happiness Report conducted a massive study across 113 countries, and they found something remarkable. Immigrants' happiness levels nearly matched those of people in their host countries. This wasn't just true in a few cases, it was a consistent pattern across different cultures and regions.
Well, that really challenges our assumptions about the immigrant experience. What role does community play in all this?
Community participation turns out to be crucial. Studies show it's directly linked to both physical and mental health outcomes. What's particularly interesting is how participation in cultural activities positively affects social competence, especially among immigrant children.
How exactly does that work with children? Are they just naturally more adaptable?
While children do tend to adapt more quickly, it's more nuanced than that. Research shows that when immigrant children participate in cultural activities, they're less likely to experience adjustment problems and more likely to develop strong social skills. It's like they're creating a bridge between their original culture and their new one.
That makes me wonder about the long-term effects. Do these positive outcomes last?
That's an interesting point. Studies show that new immigrants often have better health profiles initially, but there's something called the healthy immigrant effect that can diminish over time, particularly if they face ongoing stressors like discrimination or economic difficulties.
So what can we learn from all this research about supporting immigrant communities more effectively?
I think the key takeaway is that we need to shift our approach. Instead of focusing solely on challenges, we should work to enhance and support the natural resilience many immigrants already possess. This might mean creating more opportunities for community participation and ensuring better access to culturally appropriate services.
That's such an important distinction, supporting existing strengths versus just addressing problems.
Exactly. And when we look at successful approaches, they typically involve finding ways to maintain connections to the original culture while adapting to the new one. It's not about choosing between cultures, but creating an integrated identity that incorporates elements of both.
Looking at all this evidence, what would you say is the most surprising finding?
I'd say it's how consistently the immigrant paradox appears across different studies and populations. Despite facing significant challenges, language barriers, discrimination, economic difficulties, Immigrants often demonstrate remarkable resilience and positive outcomes.
That really changes how we should think about immigration and mental health, doesn't it?
Indeed, and I think that's the real lesson here. While we need to continue addressing the barriers and challenges immigrants face, we should also celebrate and learn from their remarkable resilience. It's a powerful reminder of human adaptability and the potential for growth even in the face of significant challenges.